drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and a giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and a giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
Hey guys, it's Joel and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Ben. You guys may remember Ben from, well, less fortunate circumstances, maybe back in April of this year. We were down in Monaco, having driven through France, Italy and a bunch of other places on a road trip with some fellow YouTubers and friends in your former E89 BMW Z4 35 IS. And well, if you were paying attention back then, you will have known that things didn't at all go to plan. But today is a much happier day because Ben is now the proud owner of this new for him 987 generation Porsche Boxster S.
So Ben, I would love you to tell us a little bit about how you've come to acquire this Porsche. If you don't follow Ben's channel, which you should, you will have seen actually over the past, 6 months since that road trip, since the Z4 went, you've actually had a number of cars, but you've finally ended up with this as your sort of toy. So tell us a little bit how that's come about.
So I bought this literally last week. I was going to get another Z4 like yours, Joel, in the 85, and then back box, delete it, wrap it, lower it. But I've kind of done that before, so went for something a bit different and got this 987. I was looking at the 986 to save a bit of money. However, I'm not a fan of the old headlights and the old interior. Just looks a little bit dated to me personally. And yeah, I went with the Boxster S. It's a 3.2 flat 6. I did also go to look at the 2.7, which is less power than this. But I was kind of put off with that because it's only a 5-speed gearbox, whereas this is 6-speed.
Ah, interesting. And the other thing I didn't realise until we had an argument about it the other day is that I thought the 987 Boxster S was a 3.4. However, that is only the 0.2, isn't it? Yeah,
so this is a 987.1.
And what year is it?
It's a 2005.
Okay.
And then I think in 2007, maybe, they'd done the 3.4. Which is, yeah, and it also went up from about 280 brake to 300.
Okay, interesting.
So, yeah, it's the Gen 1 of the 987 confusing Porsche terminology.
So this is 2004. That is, in fact, the same year that they stopped making the 986.
Yes.
So this is the earliest year
it's like
987 you can buy.
Facelift version they did, I suppose.
It's the first 987 year.
Well, first 987, yeah. And it's very nice. I like it. It's different. And it's not as fast as my 35 IS. My 35 IS had 340 brake, it says 280, but it's a different kind of experience. Yeah,
and obviously that wasn't even a manual gearbox, was it?
No, that was flappy paddle, twin turbo.
This is probably much more hands-on.
This feels more of an occasion.
Okay.
More of like a weekend car. And the different sound definitely makes it kind of fizz as well.
Yeah. So talk us through the spec, both sort of outside and inside.
So it's exactly what I wanted. When I was looking, I was tripping over silver cars, which I don't want a silver car. I wanted black with black wheels, and then I found this one, and it is exactly what I wanted. So I think these are Carrera wheels, 18-inch, with the red brake calipers because it's an S. And then the previous owner also changed the S badge on the rear to red as well, so that all ties in very nice. So it's black on black, with a grey interior, which I think contrasts very nicely. And yeah, it's great. It's got everything I want. It's a Bose sound system and heated seats, which is quite crucial at the minute, this kind of time of year.
Yep. You've really picked an interesting time to buy a convertible, haven't you?
I had hatchbacks in summer and then a convertible in winter.
Classic Ben.
What can you do? I'm debating doing these bits black as well. Is that plastic?
The grills?
Yeah. Wonder how I get those out.
I would imagine it's just a Yankee job.
It's probably a Yankee job. Just tug it. Something else this car has, which my Z4 didn't, and in fact yours didn't until a subscriber bought you one.
Oh yeah.
Is a very cool designed cup holders.
Go on, show me how that operates.
So I'll put them back in for you. because I actually really love these.
Porsche cup holders are always quite,
Yeah.
very well designed.
And when I went in the dealership the other day, they're still using this same kind of
That's
design.
cool, you got 2 of them.
I got 2, one for me, one for you.
That's brilliant.
So perfect road trip car.
Yeah.
Just need to book it.
Yeah.
And hopefully this one doesn't break.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to do the next road trip in whatever car I end up with.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do a road trip in this.
I love it, apart from the ride height. So I can get my whole fist in there. Actually, a fist and another hand, so...
That's not ideal.
That's not ideal.
You're not a sort of arch gap type of man, are you?
No. So that's going to be lowered 35 mil.
But I think, mate, actually, I have to say, black... If you guys can't see, Ben is pointing to this. When did you have the car cleaned, Ben?
Yesterday.
And that is...
Recent, like just now.
That wasn't there before we started filming this, was it?
It wasn't, no. Black car problems. It's fine.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Well, I was going to say, I actually really, really like the spec. I think black with black wheels. I was saying to Ben that I've not decided I'm going to buy a Boxster or anything, but I've been looking at them on Auto Trader quite a lot. And this very exact car was one that I had saved in my Auto Trader favourites. So
I actually messaged you, like, Joel, oh my God, what have I done? Panicking. I bought a Boxster, and you're like, nah. When I sent you the link, and you're like, I was actually watching that.
yeah, exactly.
So, here it is.
Yeah, no, mate, I love the spec.
I'm not sure if the tips are standard. I don't know.
Yeah, they're quite big.
They're quite big and shiny. Also, my rear plate genuinely fell off.
When did that?
Thursday, I think. I don't know. I only noticed it last night.
That's not ideal.
So I had to put my front one back on.
Yeah, that's so that is a genuine. It's not just a YouTuber. Oh, my plate fell off.
Sorry, officer, it fell off. No, it genuinely fell off.
You can see it's not. He's clearly not deliberately left it looking like that. That's rather unfortunate. Hopefully, the 5.0
the Rozzers don't get me on my drive home. So another feature in the Boxster S I like are the white dials. So I'm a massive fan of those. I think they're normally black in like the 2.7s.
Yeah.
But I'm not a fan of black dials. I think they're quite boring. Even my 35IS had grey dials. So I think white's a bit different. And they light up white. So when you're driving at night, it's actually quite cool.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah,
and you've obviously got the massive rev counter.
Yeah, I love that.
What does it rev out to, this car?
It revs so quickly. It revs, I don't know, it revs all the way up because I revved it the other day. And there's literally, it just goes straight up. And it kind of took me by surprise a little bit.
This is basically a Lexus LFA.
It basically is.
Yeah.
It's too quick, can't keep up. And yeah, grey interior, as I mentioned. Bose sound system, which has that kind of suctiony thing in the middle rather than the storage pocket, which I find quite useless anyway.
Yep.
It's also got these. I think these are quite ingenious. Storage pockets.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
I think that's quite good. I didn't know they were there.
Yeah, the 911 that I drove, that 996 a few months back, that had the same. I think that's quite a common thing on Porsche. Yeah. The common thing on Porsche is just clever design.
It's all really well thought out, like the cup holders.
Cup holders are great. That's great. That's about it.
Yeah.
No, but the other thing as well, obviously, which is quite unique to these cars, being a mid-engined car, is you have a front and rear boot.
Yeah. And they're really good because you can open them up here.
I love these switches as well for that. It's so cool.
So they're quite cool.
And the rear one?
The rear one's
probably
not bad.
The smaller one?
The front one's definitely the biggest. So in there, it's my reg, which isn't registered to the car yet. That's why it's in there. Which is frustrating. That's actually quite warm, I suppose, because the engine's there.
Correct.
So quite a decent size. Got both my bags in there.
And that's where you top up your oil and water as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all in there. Very nice.
That's pretty cool. Pretty different.
The oil, like the Z4's digital, again, which I don't like. I prefer dipstick. But and then my front boot, which only has a tripod in there and a towel because this seal's leaking here, which I need to replace.
Oh dear.
Apart from that, that's what kind of generous sized boot.
Yeah, it's hard to. Can you like stick your hand in there or something?
Just
to give some perspective, or your leg.
I suppose I've not done this before.
Oh dear.
Well, so this boot is basically a Ben.
And if you guys haven't met Ben is pretty overweight. So
I thought you were going to say I was like 5'9".
No. He's a above average in weight and size person. I'm only joking. What are you, about 6 foot, aren't you?
Yeah.
No, you're not. You're about the same as me. You're about 5'4". It's a big boot. It's actually a big boot, and I think combined with the rear, it's probably not far off what you get in the Z4.
I'd say it's bigger than the Z4. I don't know. The Z4 was quite a pain in the ass with the whole roof.
Or your Z4, yeah.
The E89. was quite a pain in the ass with the way the roof folded into the boot.
Yeah.
Especially on the road trip when we had things right at the back of the boot.
Yeah.
You had to put the roof up, having the storage compartment kind of forward, just to get something out.
Yeah, that was a pain.
Which isn't an issue
We
in your
barely
car.
fit everything in there.
And now it's not an issue in this. I think cabin space is a little bit smaller than the Z4.
Okay.
But
Are you happy with it?
I love it. I love it.
And you're planning on keeping this for a little while?
I want to keep it for a little bit, yeah. Just do some little things to it, like I mentioned. I want to lower it. I think it might need some spacers ever so slightly, just to bring it out. That front number plate might genuinely fall off. About as
What, accidentally in this?
accidentally, yeah.
Okay.
The front one always falls off, but in this case,
You're one of them.
the rear one genuinely fell
It
off.
actually did.
So I had to put that one back on.
Nice one. Yeah, well, we should definitely go out and take it for a spin, because I've certainly never experienced a 987 Boxster. Obviously, I did a soft top showdown recently with the 986, which I really, really liked, actually, I have to say.
That did look quite good. He had a different kind of front bumper.
And just the handling was so good. It's so flat compared to the Z4. But yeah, guys, comment below what you think about the spec of this Boxster. Obviously, black on black. I personally think, like you say, Ben, the grills, where's my finger? The grills at the back there should be black, maybe.
Yeah.
And these side lights.
These, I might tint these because I think they're a bit on show at the minute. So tint those.
Yeah.
Wrap these black, and then wrap the side grills black as well, just so it's all murdered out.
But yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. So let's see what it's like on the road.
Here we are then, mate.
Here we are. Very comfortable.
It is actually.
And,
it took me about 2 hours 20 minutes to get here.
Nice head split.
And,
the leather feels premium, you know.
When you put your head against the headrest, it's like ooh.
It's very soft, isn't
It
it?
is very soft. It's like memory foam.
Maybe I'll
I think.
fall asleep in here if the
Hopefully.
car's boring. Sounds nice as well. You definitely know straight away that the engine's there, don't you?
Yeah, that's kind of what, not kind of threw me, because obviously I know it's there, but when you drive it, you do hear a lot more wooing and
The mechanical
kind
side.
of noises. Obviously, it's right there. And then also this vent on the side, you hear a lot more kind of induction noise. And also the fan, which has come on. It's a little bit
annoying, actually.
Yeah. Car's warm though.
Should we get going?
Let's do this.
I'm going to be a bore. Can we have the windows up just for sound purposes?
Of
We'd like
course.
all of these lovely people watching to be able to hear
Oh,
the
yes.
rubbish that we're talking about.
Oh yeah, we waffled on.
I'm trying to think what we want to talk about here, because I want to obviously make this video informative as much as enjoyable to watch. I think you're going to do a comparison between my Z4 and this Boxster, given that they're the same year, on your channel.
Yes.
So if you guys want to...
As well as being an owner of both.
Yes. So if you guys want to know more about the differences between this and the Z4, at the end of this video, go over to Ben's channel and watch that.
So you mentioned earlier the gear change. In Porsches, the box is kind of notchy, but I quite like it. I think it's engaging.
I found that in particular in the 996 911 that I reviewed, the gearbox was probably the biggest letdown, because
Should I give
it
it
was.
some?
Go for it, yeah. It definitely gets faster the more up the revs you get.
Yeah, it's a strange one, because when I got to about 4,000 RPM,
Yeah.
it kind of then comes alive and fizzes a lot more.
Yeah.
Which makes you feel like you're in something quite special, and it's like more of a sense of occasion.
Yeah.
But it is definitely in the higher RPMs.
Yes.
It's like you need to kind of thrash it.
Do you know any of the
bizarre.
stats of like where the peak power and torque is, or?
I don't. I don't really know too much about it, to be fair. I just know it's got 280 brake. Yeah, I don't know if it's coming through on camera. It's kind of almost silent at 3,000-ish.
There's not too much going on, is there?
No, but when you if you first gear from a set of traffic lights and you go go for it. It does climb very quickly.
Yeah.
And also sounds very good for a standard system. But yeah, I love it. I think it feels very flat.
Yes, that's
well,
what I noticed in the 986 Boxster S that
So
I
when I
filmed
go
with.
around this corner, it's like there's no roll,
There's no body roll at all,
which
is
is
there?
amazing.
I've noticed that the more that I've driven other cars since having my Z4, I've noticed more and more the body roll in the Z4. Obviously, all of the weight being at lots of the weight being in the front with the engine there. Obviously, I could lower it and get different springs and stuff and make it better. But fundamentally, that car does have quite a fair bit of body roll. This does feel very flat.
And in comparison to my previous car, the 35IS,
Yeah.
that was quite a heavy car with the metal folding roof.
Yeah.
So that was more of a GT car, which was good in a straight line, but round corners, it was kind of heavy. You felt it in the steering, but going from that to this is quite. You can definitely feel the weight saving. I'm not sure how much saving, but
it's a lot smaller the car. And I also noticed in terms of grip, this has actually got 265 tyres on the rear.
Yeah, I didn't realise how wide they were.
So yeah, I mean it probably can go around a corner at quite some pace without becoming unstuck.
So I've only had the car for a week, so I need to get used to it a bit more.
Of course.
I'm kind of scared of seeing videos where a mid-engine car will go around a corner, then kind of pivot, and then just spin out.
I think the key thing is with mid-engine vehicles generally is when they lose grip, there's no correcting it. If I overdo it in mine, being rear-wheel drive, and
it's quite raspy.
that is quite raspy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's different.
I like how you rudely interrupted the extremely important point that I was actually just making, but you guys are never going to hear it now because Ben is extremely unpleasant and rude. So you guys have missed out on what I was going to say.
Sorry about that. It's just narrow kind of alleyway, brick walls.
Oh, lovely Astra there letting us go. That was some nice clutch action there.
It was, wasn't it?
But no, I'm very excited for you because I've always loved Boxsters.
Yeah.
There's the whole thing of, oh, you only buy a Boxster if you can't afford a 911. The saying of a Boxster is a poor man's 911.
I've had that quite a lot, which is frustrating.
The thing is,
it's a good car. It's got the brakes off a Carrera.
Yeah,
it's mid-engine, so
that's all well and good, but characteristically, it's totally different.
Yeah.
It's mid-engined. The 911 arguably has the engine in the wrong place, as Jeremy Clarkson would say, in the rear, and that obviously means the handling dynamics and characteristics between this and the 911 are so different.
Yeah.
And for some people, I think myself included, I prefer the mid-engine setup in terms of how the car drives. So I'm very excited you've got it, and I think the whole it's a poor man's 911 thing is just.
I think that's
for naysayers who maybe haven't driven one or know they won't ever own one.
Yeah, I think that's just a very kind of thing that people have heard on videos and the internet, and then they all kind of jump onto that bandwagon and that's the problem with the internet is people just jump on bandwagons, don't they, for retweets and for likes and whatever it might be. But I think it's a great car. I think it's still very capable. And it's got big brakes as well. Again, off the Carrera, I believe.
What's like the claimed 0-60 on this? Do you know?
I haven't even googled it.
I think it's 5.6.
You reckon?
I think it is. Yeah, I can't. And I think it will do 165 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And I think the later 3.4s, they're like 5.4 to 60 and 172.
I think I read somewhere it's about 160, 170 top speed. I can't quite remember.
Okay.
But yeah, it's quite good.
It's no slouch.
And it sounds when you're on it, it's a different sound, and then the whole feeling the car gives you, like all you can see, like in the kind of corner of your eye is like this massive dial, this rev counter, and you just see it climbing. Yeah. And it encourages you not to change gear because the higher it gets, the better it sounds.
Yes.
So it's just brilliant.
I think you need a back box delete though, or some sort of exhaust mod.
Yeah.
There's a thing called the Gundo hack, which is very popular among these cars, which I think is essentially opening up the back box and removing a load of the baffling in there, or all of the baffling, which essentially gives you the same effects as a back box delete. But I think you might as well remove the back box, because then you're
kind of ruining the standard
back box.
Yeah,
you're leaving the back box standard. You can always put it back on, and you're saving a bit of weight as well.
True. So I imagine they
win-win.
A hefty ton. Not quite a ton, but
no, maybe 10 kilos.
Yeah.
Every little helps.
So then, Joel, would you like to have a little go?
I would. Well, I definitely can't say no, can I? I'd love to.
Cool.
Right then, so after the click of the fingers, I will be sitting there and you shall be sitting here. I'm quite excited for this.
First time passenger in my own car, let's do it.
Let's go. Here we are.
There we go. Magic. Here we go.
First thing I have to say is that the pedals are quite, I guess they're a little bit off left actually, the throttle pedals, slightly off left.
You think?
And they're quite close together.
Yeah.
Which I guess is brilliant for heel and towing. We'll find out in a minute. And I absolutely love that view you get of the wide arch.
Oh, the arches, yeah.
The wide front arches, that's brilliant.
Very, very cool.
Brakes have got a little bit of travel, haven't they, before?
Yeah, I think I need some new pads, if I'm honest.
Okay. It's got a really nice fizz, hasn't it? It reminds me of the Z4M a lot.
Oh, really?
This guy's literally doing 25 miles an hour in a 60.
No, we're trying to film a video. Doesn't he know?
But yeah, it does. It sounds like an M a little bit, and it's interesting because they're the same engine capacity, aren't they? They're both 3.2 litres. Oh, we've got a lot of traffic up ahead. That's frustrating. So while we're cruising along, you're right. This is very nice having the big rev capture in the middle of the digital speedometer. That's really cool. We've got heated seats, electronic wing mirror adjustments. Big, very clear wind deflector behind us.
Yeah, that's nice. Good. The fact it's clear and not mesh, so you can actually see out the back.
And it's relatively quiet in here, isn't it? This camera's quiet.
That could change when I cut the back box off. Sorry, if. Please do it. It will sound amazing. We'll see. It's the way it builds up. Like that was like under 4,000, and it was quite quiet.
And let's see what this handling's a bit.
Does that?
Yeah, there's a little bit of.
I think that my alignment might be out because I find it kind of tram lines a bit. Like it seems
it's a little bit like that. And when you're on the throttle, the steering, a bit like a 911 actually. It gets a lot lighter the faster you get.
Yeah.
But I would expect it to be the same in one of these. But a little bit nervous. But maybe there's a few tweaks that need doing.
I'm pretty sure the alignment's out because it does feel kind of. Like it kind of wants to sway,
but it is very flat. It's fast though, isn't it?
It is quite quick. Yeah, I haven't really crashed it yet, but.
Like I've immediately just got in and done.
Just now. So,
and it is nice and easy to heel and tow.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that. And what's cool as well is that spoiler that raises it. I think it's about 70, 75.
Yeah,
that's a very, very cool feature that I love.
I have to say,
it is fizzy. I love it.
It is. It's got it's really nice metallic fizz, just like the Z4M. Oh yeah, really cool. A really quick drive.
Yeah, just quickly because I've got no rear plate.
I don't have a rear plate, which is not,
it's unfortunate.
Bit of a magnet for the police, isn't it?
A little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's jump out the car. I'll consolidate my thoughts on driving it. and wrap this video up. But thank you for letting me have a little spin, Ben.
That's all right. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I did very much enjoy it, so I appreciate the gesture.
It's fine. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, there we go. That was a lot of fun seeing your brand new, well, to you at least, 987 Boxster S. Thank you for letting me drive it. Apologies if that was a really short drive. I mean, it was genuinely a one-take, 4 or 5 minute up and down the road drive, as Ben has no rear number plate. So don't really want to get...
a little bit dicey, isn't it?
Don't really want to get pulled over.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, if you're commenting below or thinking about it, you're getting it sorted. So it will literally be sorted tomorrow.
It's a genuine mistake.
Yeah. So thank you for letting me drive that, Ben, and also sharing with me your thoughts on it. I'd be really interested to hear your guys' opinion, as I said earlier, on what you think the spec of this Boxster, and also just generally what you think of them. From driving it, to consolidate my thoughts, it didn't feel particularly fast. It didn't feel, I'd say, any faster than my Z4, but then again, on paper, there's 50 brake horsepower.
On paper, it's faster, but I think it's all at the top end.
It is, and you've really got to ring it out.
It's an engine you have to thrash, which I love it, don't get me wrong, but I feel if I'd gone and got the 2.7, I would have been extremely disappointed.
You would have definitely been wanting for
They have like, what, 40 horsepower less, 240 brake, I think?
I think they're more like 220, 230.
Christ,
so
that's not enough.
No, so I think, and at that top end it did feel a little bit nervous, that's my only thing, but the steering is very direct, maybe a bit too sensitive, because that could be, maybe I wasn't holding it hard enough, and that's why it was wobbly. But yeah, it's fast, it grips so well, partly because of those tyres, and I think because of where the centre of gravity is. It's very flat around the corners, and on a day like this, actually, on a road like this,
she's done well for a 14-year-old Porsche.
You wouldn't know, that's the thing. When you've got your private plate on there,
yeah,
most people would probably, I'd say it's probably from around 2010, if I didn't know anything about these cars. Anyway, needless to say, we're obviously both big fans of the car. I hope you guys are too. Please comment below your thoughts. Big thanks to Ben for bringing it down.
We're doing this.
Leave me hanging. And congratulations, mate, on the purchase.
Thank you
I hope
very
you're
much.
enjoying it as much as I did just then.
Yeah.
If you want to know more, like I said earlier in the video, about this car, obviously subscribe to Ben. But Ben, we're about to film right now a comparison between my Z4 and this car. So if you want to check that out, I'm sure that'll be live around the same time as this video, so you can go to Ben's channel right now and watch that video. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you very, very soon.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.